Oh my god, guys. One frame man. Sorry. One Punch Man Season 3 is here and it looks okay. Even when solo leveling is not here, I'm still the milkman. It was basically a setup episode that didn't have any action. Although even before, when people said that episode 1 will have limited animation, this was limited. There's some wonky looking shots and inconsistent looking.
In this video, we'll be reacting to One Punch Man Season 3 Episode 1. The return of Saitama, the hero who broke anime itself. And after years of waiting, fans couldn't be more divided. Some are calling it a comeback, others are calling it a disaster.
Drawings that was poo-poo, you can say. I think the test of how good this season will look is probably next episode, because there's a little something that requires movement. This episode, animation-wise, was nothing special, and it didn't really need to be, because when you get the most craziest looking character acting animation appearing, the Nomers wouldn't even bat an eye on it, but when it looks stiff, people call it out, guys. Before that though, drama. It's not drama. It's actually crazy that this guy actually mentioned me in one of his videos. Thank you, Ko, for getting Nick to notice my vid, even though I just said he's an idiot, but I guess he got a bit upset. I mean, I guess what's the word below upset? I don't know. But here, you're saying I'm coping and everything is sunshine rainbow about this project? No, I've explained a lot that this project is terrible. The production time is probably below a year. You know why I can say this? Because I can assume the condition is bad from even the Garu PV, and also doing some base level research going off of interviews. Shout out to Probably Pretentious. I forgot that interview existed, because I can base certain things and make educated guesses, not say, oh my god guys, 6 years, oh my god, no. I don't.
So, was it really that bad? Let's be real. One Punch Man isn't just another anime, it's a legend. Season 1 set an impossible standard. The animation, the pacing, the comedy, it was lightning in a bottle. But when you start at perfection, every return feels like a step down. Episode 1 of Season 3 looks good, but not god tier, and that's the problem. People expected madhouse level movement, that raw kinetic flow that made Saitama vs Boros one of the greatest fights in anime history. Instead, what we got feels cleaner, but safer. The animation isn't bad, but it's just missing that spark.
Need to say this? Does One Punch Man Season 3 deserve way better treatment? Of course! But it's the fact that you are here disrespecting the project. Don't back up and say, oh, it's the committee's fault, when you compare a fan-animated project for OPM to the actual product, and kept saying, get this guy an OPM, he'll do a better job. How is that being genuine and not disrespectful to the staff? I know what you are doing. Rage baiting, and I don't need you to be at my level of understanding production value. You'll probably never get interested in that department. The time when I knew just animator's name, I didn't know anything about good storyboards, good direction, compositing, any of those. I just need you to have the most basic understanding of production value, because you have an audience that you influence that will take your opinion and get misconstrued, that leads to more people being more brain dead about animation. I can look at a bad thing and the good things about a bad looking show. Maybe if it's Tibet I couldn't. I can look at the bad and the good things about a great looking show. Just look at my solo living vid, for example. Even when there's a janky broken episode in JJK Season 2, you wouldn't say anything because the anime looks great and the popular opinion is JJK looks great. So you just bandwagon that because you can't critically think to yourself about animation, and that's okay. I can tell you stupid. I want to say a lot more, but I'll stop here. Anyways, this episode covered chapter 85 to 86 and also adapted chapter 85.5 in the after credit scene with Sonic, but there's really nothing much to say about the manga because it's basically a one-to-one adaptation. One frame man, woo! The funny thing is that they remove a small little action scene for some odd reason. Maybe they saw it and went like, oh shit, that needs movement. Get that shit out of here. This episode was storyboarded by Shinpei Nagai himself with 3 assistant storyboarders. Did he not finish the storyboard on time, or did he need some help? I don't know. And directed by Miyuki Ishida. Surprising that the AD list is clean, and the fact that the character designer Shinjiro Kuroda and Ryusuke Shirokawa are not here doing chief AD or even AD work in the first episode, because usually the character designers does chief AD for the first episode, but maybe they're focusing on other episodes. I mean, the episode didn't really move much, so yeah. But Kazumi Ono was chief AD, and key animated in the episode. Maybe he'll do God's work in terms of output for this project. He also participated in the opening too. Surprising that Aoki is here. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he will be in every episode. This isn't a priority episode. Even with 2 ADs, there was still bad wonky perspective shots, so hopefully they know how to manage the resources and focus on the most important thing for this project, which is the action. Yes, dialogue, slice of life episodes, whatever you call it, can be very good animated too.
But here's the thing, it's not just about visuals. One Punch Man was never meant to be carried by Sakuga alone. The real heart of the series is tone, that mix of absurd comedy and quiet sadness. And episode 1, it's trying to find that again. You can feel the weight of expectations on every frame. The jokes hit, the setup's solid, the tension is building. But it's like everyone's watching with their arms crossed, waiting for that wow moment. That punch that breaks the internet again. And when it doesn't happen, people start calling it...
But you gotta understand, this project is rush. Add to that with this hard material to adapt, and the last thing they need to do is wasting their resources and time for meaningless dialogue scenes. We've seen multiple shows even this year that can produce the best looking non-action show, but OPM is a different case. This episode has some questionable storyboards. Most of the time, some shots are just zooming out, going up or down, which isn't a bad thing, but it just felt a bit weird at times. I do think the pacing wasn't the best. There's some scenes that cut to different scenes a bit abruptly. It's very limited shot composition because animation didn't move. Hell, when they tried to do something different, the walk cycle and the perspective shot was not good, although there was some neat looking boards. In terms of movement, I don't need the same movement as that Fubuki shot for every shot, but I wish some scenes did move a bit more. It's the same criticism I had with Saitama punching Garo. I wish the hand moved a bit more. Just some subtle character movement so the scene doesn't feel staticky. The good parts, Tatsumaki's ass cheeks, and now she has a six-pack. Okay, Fubuki being breathable, as always. Bang shaking it for a split second, and mommy. The drawing supervision was overall quite consistent. There's some off-looking drawings, but I think the scene where we're in Saitama's room was probably the best looking scene overall. There was a change of drawing quality. Probably there was quite a bit of corrections in that scene, and Fubuki probably moved the most in this episode. I mean, this shot was in the trailer, looked really nice, but beside it, it moved a bit more than usual. Maybe Aoki animated most of the Fubuki stuff. Judging from the cuts, it looks like there's a specific animator animating it. Aesthetically, I'll talk more about it on probably next episode because I'm just repeating it multiple times because most of the shots were already in the trailer. I'll say this though, I think the darker setting, I'm not the biggest fan of how they do the background. The textures and coloring definitely needed some work, or it just doesn't mix well with the character. But the lighter setting just pleased my eye more, with obviously the design having very thicker outlines. A true test of time of how good the season will look is probably next episode because there's some scenes that require movement. Yes, aesthetically the show looks better than season 2, but let's not be delusional. Season 2 moved more in episode 1. Even if you remove the action parts, I mean, I watched the first 10-15 seconds of season 2 episode 1 that can tell you the answer. I really hope the fight will be good. I know Aoki will probably be there. Another good thing we can look forward, I guess, is that there was quite a bit of Twitter animators. Van Oba also confirmed that he will be participating in later episodes. But again, if those people don't have the proper time to actually make a good looking product, then that's not gonna make a big of a difference. Take So Miyazaki's cut in one of the worst looking JJK season 2 episode to then him basically animating most of Jogo versus Sukuna's fight. If you guys like the video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a
mid. But maybe that's not fair. Maybe season 3 isn't trying to outdo its past. Maybe it's trying to evolve. The show looks different because it is different. It's darker, heavier. Garu's story isn't about hype, it's about pain. This isn't a parody anymore. It's becoming a tragedy. So, was the animation really that bad? Number. It's just not what people imagined. It's not Season 1 Madhouse magic, but it's also not the fall-off people are making it out to be. It's simply a different tone, a different era of One Punch Man. What matters now isn't whether the first episode looked perfect, it's whether the story can still hit emotionally the way it used to. Because if Season 3 can bring back the meaning behind the punches, not just the flash, it'll prove One Punch Man never needed perfect animation. It just needed heart.